You have accidentally stumbled into The View from the Crow's Nest. I'm Robert Crowe, and whenever I get around to it, I investigate some behind-the-scenes topics. Our program today is My Movie Career Tilt-A-Whirl. My movie career was short, just one movie, and it was memorable for me, if not for anybody else. The movie had a working title of Tilt-A-Whirl, the ride at the carnival. The movie story was about a demolition car driver who was in love with a society girl. Most of the show was filmed at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield, but the car scenes were filmed at the track at the Morgan County Fairgrounds in Jacksonville, Illinois. The invitation to join the cast was a simple note in the local newspaper. It said, "Movie extras wanted for crowd scenes. Report to the fairgrounds at 9 a.m. Sunday morning." So I did. Well, the first thing you learn about the movie business is there's no such thing as a fast pace. Everything moves slowly. As a member of the crowd, we sat for a long time waiting for something to happen. After an hour or so, a person came to talk to us. There weren't a lot of extras for the crowd, so we all had to bunch together. Then we moved to sit at the left side of the grandstand while they shot a little film, and then we all moved to the right side of the grandstand for a different camera angle. We stood up and cheered, although there was no action, and we didn't know the story. We had no idea what we were cheering for or against. I was sitting in the grandstand in my usual movie actor pose when a man came up the aisle. He introduced himself to me as the director. He said, "How would you like to have a small part in the movie? There's not much involved. We need a mayor of the town, and you get to sit on the main stage. Don't worry, you have no lines." "I have no lines?" I asked. "No." I said, "Then I'm not going." "What?" I jumped up. Just kidding. I'll go. It was a mixed blessing. On the plus side, I was no longer an extra. I had a title, mayor. However, on the minus side, the grandstand seats where I had been were shaded, and my new title got me a chair in the hot July sun. Finally, a line or two of dialogue was given by the male star. The young man had played in a movie called Young Guns. I later had a chance to talk with him and found him to be very likable. Well, back to the movie. The director didn't like the angle of filming, so we waited while a crew assembled a rail track for the camera trolley. When they were ready to continue, some fellow yelled, "Cut!" "What's the matter?" asked the director. "It's the sun. It's behind some clouds. We have to wait because the earlier shots were in full sun." Okay. Well, by this time I was melting. My entire acting range was wiping the sweat off my face. Finally, a few lines of dialogue were in the can after 10 takes at 4 different angles, and the female star had not arrived on the set. Someone asked where she was, and it was determined she was still in her air-conditioned trailer. Yeah, no dummy there. Someone was sent to fetch her. She came swooping onto the set. The media would call her willowy. I called her skinny, but not to her face. A tall, thin, medium cute blonde. She was the antithesis of the town officials. We were all wet from baking in the sun for a couple of hours. She had not a hair out of place. She was finally seated on the stage with us. When the filming was ready to commence, she said, "Cut, cut." "Cut," said the director. "What for?" "I think I'm going to sweat." she said softly. I need a puff. I stood and shook my fist. I'll give you a puff, I shouted. Well, I really didn't say anything, but I thought it loudly. An aide rushed to her aid and patted her face with a powder puff. We finally shot the scene and broke for lunch. There was free pizza and soda for everyone. I'm not sure what the blonde had for lunch because she was in her trailer. I did get to have lunch with the director. How do you do this? I asked. It would absolutely drive me nuts. Nothing moves faster than a snail's pace. Don't you get very frustrated? Sure, he answered. I'm in a bigger hurry than anyone. But you learn quickly that the process goes slowly. You can get as frustrated as you want, but that won't make it go faster. That's the job, and that's the way the job goes. You tolerate it, or you don't direct movies. He paused. Sorry about the lunch, but this is a small budget movie. Well, I asked, how would a large budget movie be different? Oh, lunch would be lobster and steak on a big buffet, more trailers, bigger staff, and you'd be paid in money instead of pizza. Well, I said, I don't think I could do your job. Your scene is done, he said. Are you going from the limelight back to the grandstand? I said, no, after I've tasted the camera up close, I couldn't do that. I think I'll go home. Good luck. For many years, I looked for the release of Tilt-A-Whirl. I got excited because a flick with that title was released in 2005, but it wasn't our demolition film. The 2005 release was a story about a movie producer who had a nervous breakdown. I can understand that. For a long time, I looked for our movie, but never found it. I don't know why the movie was never released, but I have a theory. I think someone killed the blonde. Well, that's our program for today. Check back often and see if we try this again on another random topic. I'm Robert Crowe with The View from the Crow's Nest.